Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's good to be back, and welcome to Technical Tuesdays, right? So, my name is Coach Clayton, right? And I'm all the way from South Africa, Cape Town. That is why maybe you wondering why is my voice so different or sounds so different, right? Um, I am from the. I will say this is the most beautiful city in the world, right? I'm just kidding. I'm just being biased there. But like I said, welcome to another Technical Tuesday. This is where we dive into, how the market operates. From our students, will know that we do weekly analysis or weekly outlook, and the students can send through the most traded instrument, right? The the most traded pair, and I do analysis according to how the market will operate during that particular week, right? Also, I want to just we all see the he's a master class, right? That will happen this Thursday, right? And you want to be here, right? The masterclass is going to happen, and if you are willing, if this is the first time that you're seeing this announcement, right, you can just comment, yes, count me in, right? And let me just throw up more information regarding this post, right? So if you want to start, this year off properly, right, especially if you're serious about gaining this new skill set, you're most welcome to join. It's actually for free, right? And I just want to highlight as well that please take note that this is only for applicable to members who haven't previously joined our live classes and existing students, right? So if you are a session student and you have joined our previous live classes, you are, this is not for you. This is only for the new people that are joined the group, and as their token, just to welcome them into a new year, the year of 2024, right? So who's excited for that? If you are excited, you are most welcome to comment. Yes, count me in, and one of the admins will just correspond to you during Messenger or any other or your email, that we will correspond to you, right? So yeah, let me just share my screen for a moment, right? So I'm not gonna keep the technical Tuesdays or this live too long, because I know it's just the beginning of the year, and we're just getting our feet in, right, into trading. So I don't wanna overload you with information that we can leave for masterclass. But we know that also our existing students will get more information regarding tomorrow's class as well. So, um, this week that we currently in is we're focusing on mainly futures, right? So, um, we have, but before we go to futures, we normally have a currency that is the dollar, right? That always means that this the dollar, and if you understand the power of the dollar, whether the dollar goes long, goes short, it has an impact across all instruments within the market, right? So that is why I always say that the Dixie or the dollar is the denominator for every week, right? And then when we cross reference that to, we have gold, and it's also futures, right? And then we correspond to the S&P 500, which is also a future, and then we end off with the euro, right, which is also a future, right? Just bear in mind that we also do other instruments like stocks and currencies, etc., regarding our trading, right? We don't focus on futures, but this particular student sending this I can tongue twisted here, but these instruments, right? Um, but yeah, it's gonna be very interesting one, because we have the dollar, right? And so the dollar is all going in an uptrend. You all notice that, right? But when we go to gold, which is gold futures, is showing a downtrend. When we go to the S&P 500, it was in a downtrend. However, we will get into that just in a few minutes. But it has broken the downtrend and it went up to make higher highs. And then we go to the euro, it is still in consolidation. However, I will also get there and explain what actually happened, right, regarding price action. So, regarding the dollar, and if we just a little bit just zoom in a bit, we have noticed, right, it is an uptrend, but also it's also in limbo mode, right? It's consolidating, right? And with that, I, I say to the students that you can either reach the demand zone and retrace or break through, or try to reach the supply zone, right? you can either retrace from that supply zone, or you can break through that supply zone. However, it has done uh, none of the out of the four patterns. It mostly did two, right? So it's still in consolidation. But when I just delete, this a bit, you know, it will become more easier to understand. And when I also delete my session breaks, you can see, right? So there we have it, right? So I can just move that a bit like that and clone it, and just respect the trend line, right? You don't have to always be right, but just if we have a basic understanding of what is happening within the market, it will paint a nice picture. And you draw that across, um, and now you start to see that you know whether the supply or demand zone will keep, right. So we have that in place. So it's making a rally, right, and it's consolidating. So it's making a base. Now, from theory, we expect it to, make a rally, right. However, the market always, tend to do her thing, right, and so we always respect price action. But what I want to leave you with this is that when price action consolidates within this particular area and the dollar becomes strong, right? This will happen, right? Or this pattern. Or when we look at this demand zone as well, and price action can drop, right, and try to break that trend, right, and reach our next opposing demand zone, it can retrace there as well. So it all will play in of how the week will go, right? And so with that, I have Forex Factory, right? This is just where you get your news from regarding the dollar, etc. And so if you want to see where more or less how well or how weak the dollar will go, you can just look for the USD, and there we have it, right. On Thursday, we'll have the CPI report, and core CPI as well. So, and we have unemployment claims, right? So we have tomorrow and Thursday that will more or less paint out a picture, right? And so we go back to our chart. If price action is moving to a demand zone before news, and even if it, go, if price action is moving to a supply zone before news, it has an indication of how the market will go. However, I can't explain or give that information out because that's only for the students, right? To to make the best out of that price action when the news comes out, right? So once we have that in place, we go to gold, right? And so, like I said, we have a downtrend, and I did say that during I told the students that if price actually comes down and it plays in this demand zone, it can break through, right? And try to reach a next opposing demand zone, right? However, we have seen that price action did violate that demand zone. So these are most likely that the gold will reach weakness, right? Um, by Thursday, but we never know, right? Because and like I said, I can't explain what will happen because there's some students that pays for these particular knowledge. But that's just the feel that what I have, because I did say that there is a supply zone and a demand zone because of how the week actually closed, right? The weekly candle closed last week. And so we can even see over here that it made a wick, right? And there is that demand zone, and it closed, half of that, the high and the low, for that range for that particular week. So the weekly candle actually closed in a half. So it's quite interesting where will price action go towards, right? And as well, it reached a weekly time frame demand zone as well. However, I did explain that once price action comes in again, it shows a little bit of weakness regarding a demand zone, and price action will reach a, I won't say will, but most likely reach a demand zone where price action will be respected, right? And so once we have that in place as well, we can go to the S&P 500, and it actually went according to plan. Because however, there was a downtrend forming, right? And normally with this, wherever we see, supply zones was respected, our horizontal line that's just representing the supply zones. And I say that price action will most likely reach, um, like, for instance, the supply zone, right? If we go to a lower time frame, we will, you know, for the students will know exactly where I draw my lines, and we can also draw that regarding the supply zone, right? And I say that it can break that particular supply zone and reach our next opposing supply zone and retrace. However, we have seen that happening, right? It went to our next opposing supply zone, dropped a bit, and now there's a core, or there's a term. What was our resistance is now our support. What was our supply zone is now our demand zone, right? Um, and so if you put confused regarding that, we explain this within our course as well, right? So now it's our demand zone, and we can see how price action is respected regarding that as well. But like I said, price action, formed, and it did very well regarding, how projection will go, right? So I'm happy for this one. But when we came to the euro is I won't say stubborn, um, but it's finding its way, right? That is how I can explain the euro regarding the futures, right? It's finding its way regarding how and where it wants to go towards, right? Just pay careful attention on the news regarding the euro. Just pay careful attention to that. However, I will just take these lines away, and I want to draw that over here. Delete that also, right? And just make it more nicer regarding the downtrend. Now, if you have noticed, right, and that's currency, we have a drop, then we have a consolidation, right? And theory will say most likely reach to the downside. Why am I saying that? Because if we look at the Dixie, we are having a rally base, right? Theory say it will price action will try to reach a new high. So when we look at the euro, is actually the inverse of the dollar, right? Um, and so just pay careful attention towards that as well. But however, we have a downtrend, and what will mostly, sometimes price action will do this, right? And it's forming a pinch over there where price action will come, right? Try to reach a demand zone, have a retracement, and break that downtrend and reach a new high, right? Um, or if price action comes down and it plays within that demand zone, it's most likely that price action will drop, right, and reach our next opposing demand zone there as well, right? Let me just remind you that price action will try to reach our next opposing supply zone, right? I think it's hit demand zone. Um, but yeah, for this pattern over here, price action will most likely, if it reaches that demand zone and come back up, most likely try to reach our next opposing supply zone. So let's have a look at that as well. Like I said, the way how the dollar operates, it will shift the market, right? So just have a look at that as well. Um, and if you have any other questions, we can most likely help you out as well. But don't forget, on Thursday that we will have our masterclass, right? We will have our masterclass, and that's only for non-existing students. So if you're a student, it's up for you. And don't worry, it's nothing, extra. It's just to welcome the new people, and give them a nice 2024 welcoming, right? But also in the interim, for the people who wants to enhance his skill set, that is for them as well. So that's all from me from Technical Tuesdays. Like I said, I won't be long. I just want to let you soak in within this new, journey segment was for 2024, and then we can take it from there. But with no further ado, um, that's all from me, right? Take it easy, team, and God bless. See you next week, same time. Bye.